Hello everybody and welcome back to a brand new video. So in this episode of 5-Minute Java, I'll be going over the for loop. So really quickly before the video starts, I just want to remind you to subscribe for more Java videos and programming videos. I will be making more of these 5-minute Java videos as well. So if you're interested in that, make sure to subscribe. Anyway, let's get started. So a for loop is a type of loop that you can do in Java, and loops are basically things that repeat multiple times, and each time it repeats you can do something else. So a for loop is one of the many types of loops, and it's very useful from my experience. So yeah, I'm just going to show you some basic examples and show you how to use it. So the basic syntax of a for loop is you have a for and then an open parentheses, and then you have initializing a variable. So usually you would do an integer I equals 0, and then you would do a condition. So this is basically while this first thing is a certain way. So since I've defined int I as 0, I can do I is less than 10, meaning the loop will repeat 10 times. And then you would do something that kind of connects these two things. So in order for this loop to actually make sense, you would want 0 to eventually become 10 so that the loop stops. And for you to do that, you would want you to increase the value of I. So you would do I++, which is basically the same thing as saying I equals I plus 1. It's just a shorthand of that. So you say I++. And then you do open bracket and enter. So you have open bracket, close bracket. And then within here, you do whatever you want to be repeated. So in this case, since I started with 0 and it's less than 10, this is going to repeat 10 times. So if I just do system.out.println I, and then I run the program, you can see what happens each time. So it starts as a 0, then 1, 2, 3, all the way down to 9. And you may be confused, why is there no 10? That's because we said less than 10. So as soon as I gets to equal 10, it's no longer less than 10, so it stops running. And so that's why we don't get a 10 here. But since it starts at 0, it's still running 10 times. So now if you want to go the other way, instead of going increasing in I, you want to decrease in I, what you would do is for int I equals 10, or any variable. This doesn't have to be an I, this can be anything you want. In this case, I can use I again because this I up here is only valid within these brackets, but I can use it again here since it's not in those brackets. But if I want to do something called a nested loop, which means this goes inside of the other loop, it's like looping twice, then I would have to change this. But since it's outside of the brackets, I'm going to keep it as I, and I'll say I is greater than 0, and then I minus minus, which is like saying, again, I equals I minus 1. And now I can system.out.println I, and you can see that it will go the other way around. So 10 all the way to 1. And usually you wouldn't just print inside the loop, you would actually do something, but this is just a basic example. And now the last thing I'll be showing you is a for each loop. Now this is a bit more complicated because it's usually only used with arrays and array lists, but just so you know, because it is technically a for loop, if I had an array here, so string r, and then I just created it with, say, some letters, A, B, and C. And now since I have an array, I can do a for each loop. So for each loop, you do for, and then open parentheses, and then you create a variable, which is the type of one kind of item of the array, so string, and in this case, I'm going to call it L for letter, and then you do a colon, and then you do R, which is the name of this array. So this is basically looping through each string L. In this case, we're calling it L, each element of the array, and storing it in a variable called L. And then open bracket and enter. And again, I can print out the variable L just to show you what it does. So I'm going to comment this out, and I will run. And you can see that it prints A, B, C. So it goes through each letter in the array, and it prints it out. So yeah, that's a quick tutorial on for loops. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to subscribe for more Java and programming videos. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.